Hi Sagittarius, this is your mid-May 2019 reading. Sagittarius, as we discussed last month, we have Saturn, Pluto, South Node together in your house of financial abundance. We are looking to remove the hindrance, remove the blockages that are holding us back from claiming the full value of our talents. This is where we start moving towards more abundance. This is where we get immense conviction, we get the stamina, we get the discipline to undergo a rebirth financially, as well as in our value system, as well as in our diet to some extent, because everything that builds us up, all the resources that build us up, whether they are physical resources or their psychological resources, they are undergoing rebirth. So our self-worth and net worth is undergoing a complete change right now. And at the start of the month, when Saturn and South Node came together for the first time in this area, we started the process of releasing the boundaries, releasing the restrictions that are holding us back from claiming true value of our talents. What holds us back from asking for what we truly need? What holds us back from generating long-term value? That has got to go. So productivity is increased. That is step one. Anything that is holding you back from dedicating your time and your energy to what generates value, whether these are projects, whether these are people, whether this is food, whether it's diet item that is stopping you from creating value in your life, from creating the right body, creating the right material asset, material value, and material talents. Whatever is blocking you, you see it clearly, and it gives you the kind of detachment that is needed to move away from it. The second thing that it does is that it gets us excited, because you sort of become convinced that an overhaul is required here. So we get the impetus to take more risk on ourselves, to ask for what we truly need. This is where we take certain bold steps, where we remove the inhibition, any self-doubt, anything that was holding us psychologically back. We remove that hindrance and we meet this challenge head on. We create new rules of engagement. The people who are in our life, the way they interact with us, the way we are treated by others, and the way we treat ourselves from a self-worth perspective, that undergoes a complete change here. Last month, fresh energy was infused into our ability to take risk on our talents. So we might have taken certain bold steps. Now becomes the time to create the structure around those bold steps. So if you took on a new project that is risky in nature, or you took on more business risk, or you initiated a bold step in your personal life, now becomes the time to set up the rules and regulations for it. Set up the right process for it, so that can generate value for you in longer run. At the start of the month, when we had the new moon around 4th of May, which I spoke about in the separate video as well, you might have initiated, or you might be looking to initiate, a new work and health routine. This is where we decide that we need to bring things to order. We do not want clutter in our life. We want things to be efficient, clear, and we want them to work for us. This is where we evolve our work environment. This is where we evolve our work relationships with the co-workers as well. Because we want more freedom. We want more independence. We want more excitement. We want more value for our talents. So the way we deal with our co-workers, that will evolve as well. You want more freedom, more creative freedom in what you do. So the kind of projects that you work on would have to change as well. You want a better health. You want a better physical life going forward, because the resources are not just the monetary resources. The resources is our body. Our body is a resource and an asset as well, and that is going through a rebirth as well. So you want the right kind of health routines. So the health routines would have to go through change as well. These are ideas that you would get during the course of this month, and you might have already received a lot of insights in it when when we had Sun and Uranus meet for the first time in your house of work and health routines around 22nd of April. It could be through interaction with the co-workers that you decided that I need to change something in the way my relationship with my co-worker or with my work is. I need to change my work altogether. I need to change a health habit. I need to change something in my day-to-day practical plan that is not serving me well. A new way of meeting life on a day-to-day basis. That is what is happening here, because you do not want to be bogged down anymore. And new ideas, fresh ideas might have come through around 8th of May as well. 8th of May is when we had Mercury and Uranus meet each other. So certain sudden information, certain surprises, certain sudden aha moments related to work and health might have come through around 8th of May, all the way around 8th or 9th of May. And that becomes a point where you get it. This is like getting a missing piece of information on what needs to be done, and the energy following that is even more conducive of knowing the way of things, because on 9th of May all the way till 11th of May we have a beautiful and productive grand fire trine which is forming in your lucky houses. This is where we get the conviction to do something which we might have found difficult earlier. This is also when we find the ease of flow of things. Things start just moving in our direction here, especially in our personal life and our financial life. So if there was a financial risk that you were not able to decide on earlier, this is where you get higher knowledge and information and certain creative ideas to progress further in that. If there was a business idea that you were not able to figure out how to move forward on it, and you were taking more financial risk while doing it, or maybe you were not getting faith in doing that well, this is where you get the conviction to do it in the right way, as well as the insight and the creativity and the excitement to break through. And this energy is available to you this weekend. So it's a good time to channel this productively. What do you want out of your financial abundance? What do you want out of your business risk? Or maybe it's a personal situation. Maybe you've taken a risk in your personal life on love, on your heart. This is where your heart chakra has to receive full support from you. What do you need? What do you need? And direct it right now, because you are on a high at this point in time. The energies are working in your positive, in favor of you at this point in time, especially if you have planets between 19 to 23 degree. We have Jupiter around your sun or your ascendant or your moon right now, which is excellent. It's very, very positive. It's expansive. It gives us the confidence and the faith to ask for what we truly need financially as well as in our personal life. 19 to 23 degree Sagittarius sun, moon, ascendant would feel it the strongest. So if you're a Sagittarius sun born between 11th to 15th of December, you'll feel it strongly. It's when an actual event happens, an actual breakthrough happens for you. For example, Donald Trump's moon is at 21 degree of Sagittarius, and he decided, because he's taking more risk in whatever capacity he's in, on the China transaction, that he doesn't want to accept anything less than what he thinks he deserves in that deal, or United States deserves in that deal. And United States of America is also a Sagittarius ascendant. So this is where we also have certain conversations with our partner, because between 3rd to 7th we had Mars in your house of partnership meet Jupiter in a hard aspect. This is where we gain the faith and the confidence to even have those tough conversations with our business partners as well as our relationship partners to have a breakthrough in our favor. This energy has to be leveraged for you to get your fair share. And what follows next week is even better. It's the energy gets even better. So between 13th to 14th of between 13th or 14th of May, all the way actually from 12th to 14th of May, we have Sun and Saturn and Sun and Pluto together. This is where we start getting support in what we are doing, either from an authority figure or from our co-workers. We start getting support, we start getting recognition for our efforts as well. So if you've done something in the past at work, you've set up a new project, you put your energy into a new project, or you've put energy into generating value out of a situation, you start getting some amount of recognition for the past work here. This also gives you the ease to take on more responsibility, take on, as I said, you're putting order to things as well. So if there is a process that needs to be set up at work, we have taken certain amount of risk at work, and now we need to put rules and regulations around it. We need to go through the processes of actually executing it. You get the discipline and the grounded energy to execute it well as well. There's keen insight, especially around 13th or 14th of May. It is a very influential energy. It's very good for business. It's very good for finances. It's very good to make an impact to somebody who you work with, or somebody, or a project if you're working on and you need to convince somebody about it, an authority figure. You want to convince an authority figure at work, or a co-worker or a business partner. Around 14th of May is an excellent time to do that. And 14th of May is very, very positive for a romantic date out as well. I know it's in the middle of the week, but when the pleasure comes, we take it. So 14th of May is a very pleasure day. It's a joyful day. Venus is meeting Mars. It's when we act on our desires. When we act on our desires, and if there was a relationship with the partner which had become a little bit strained earlier, this is the time when we can create a positive energy around it. Your heart will feel at the right place on 14th of May. Then 15th of May, we start seeing clearly on how to implement these. So the documentation comes through, communication comes through, discussions become easier. What's happening right now all the way till 21st of May is that our actions are happening before we get full information. We are being asked to act, and we get more ambition. We get asked for things before we know how to do them. So how to do them is coming between 15th to 18th of May. When Mercury becomes visible, communication becomes easier. You are able to figure out how to generate value out of certain situations that you have done. And you start putting up the documentation for it, the conversations for it. You start doing more research into it. Around 17th of May is an excellent time to convince somebody of a pitch. If you are doing a pitch for a work project, 16th of May is an excellent time to do that. This is also the time when you feel on the way to your destiny in terms of your financial destiny. So this project that you're working on, or the communication that you're working on, it would have a financial underlying. There is no fear over here. You feel very convinced about your way, because this feels like destiny. This feels like what you were supposed to do. And Venus also moves into your house of work and health at this point in time. So you start getting support from your co-workers. If there was a friction that was created earlier, or you were feeling that people are not on board with your plan, that starts coming through after 15th as well. 18th of May might bring certain further surprises at work. More information. As I said, information will slowly reveal itself. You know broadly where you need to go, but the details of that are coming. They're coming through as the month goes, because all of this is happening at 4 degree of Taurus. 4 degree of Taurus is a degree of discovery of aha moments. and that will keep coming. A few surprises will keep coming. So you have to be a bit more flexible, because there are certain missing information that will keep coming in over here as Uranus comes. But at the same time, this is exciting, this is engaging, this is not dull, this is giving you more freedom, this is giving you more financial ideas, this is giving you the kind of unique way of doing things that you want. It's giving you the lively exchange. It's helping you give intellectual ideas which are financial in nature, that can propel you forward. And that is what you get on 18th of May. We might receive a new financial idea for work. We might receive certain amount of interaction with somebody at personal level even, which helps us create a new financial project. So look out for your date with destiny. Yeah, I call it a date with destiny when Uranus meets anybody. It's like because it's a wild card energy. We don't know what will come out of it. But we know that it is there to set you free. It is there to take you out of a stagnant situation. It is there to give you thrill, innovation, creativity in your life. And on the same day, on 18th of May, we have a full moon which is happening in your 12th house. There is a cycle that is coming to an end. So if you've been working on something for the last 6 months, that is coming to a conclusion now. Next month, in the month of June, we have a full moon in your sign and in your opposite sign. That is quite a major shift. This is the month when we are preparing for it. We are preparing for bringing a project to closure, presenting something, bringing a deal to closure, bringing a partnership to closure, starting a new phase in our partnership, starting a new phase in our career. This is the month when we are preparing for it. It's a cadent house which are getting activated right now, which is we are preparing the groundwork for it. So what happens as a part of this full moon is that we get more insights. We work behind the scene to sort of do the last things that are required. Maybe we might be taking a travel as well. This is where we prepare. We regenerate a little bit as well, because the focus is on health as well and healing to some extent. We might take a long distance travel here. We might take some time away for a few days, because we are getting ready for the next phase. Only for a few, if you are born on the cusp with Scorpio. So if you're an early Sagittarius, born around 23rd of November, 24th of November, 22nd to 24th or 25th of November, so early 2 or 3 degrees of Sagittarius, you'll feel like you are put in the spotlight here. There will be something which you'll have to complete, which is focused on you. It could be a project at work where there's a lot of visibility is given to you. It could be a creative venture that you started and you're put on the spotlight to deliver. But for the rest of you, this is about behind the scene. It's about completing the old cycle. It's about giving yourself a little bit of time to regenerate even. Self-care to some extent, privacy, healing, being not so much in control, exploring the deep side of ourselves for a little bit, for a little while before all the critical activity begins again. This is a very, very mystical, very fantastical, and a little bit of a dreamy full moon. So it will feel on a deep and a soul level. This is an excellent time to do something creatively behind the scene. This is a good time for wet pleasures behind the scene. This is a time to uncover your own depth, your own power, get recentered for the next phase. Because after 21st of May itself, we have both Sun and Mercury move into your partnership house. We start working on new contracts. We start interacting with people who we want to be our business partner. We start looking at new contracts coming through. We start handling clients. It's about relating with the other people and managing us versus other next month. From 21st of May itself, that energy will start growing. So before all of that begins, give yourself some time to receive love from beyond, receive insight from beyond, receive healing from beyond a little bit. But from the early degree Sagittarius, it's different. And we'll see that in the news. This is, I am sorry to say, a lot of you may not like him, but Biden's ascendant is 3 degree. So something about him might come to light. Pete Buttigieg, sorry, his name, Pete Buttigieg, I guess. His moon is at 3 degree. So these are the people who will be highlighted at the time, who might come more in the news as compared to right now. Even certain things will be revealed when we have a full moon in Scorpio. Certain behind the scene things, certain secrets are revealed as well about a person. Certain truth and reality comes to the top. You might realize a few things about yourself. So this is the time to watch your dreams, watch your intuition, recenter yourself and receive certain insights from beyond, because our unconscious is revealed here. Certain unconscious patterns which are holding us back, those are revealed to the top. Certain secret enemies are sometimes revealed at this time. We did not know somebody was working against us, and that is revealed at this point in time. But it's all done for healing. It's all done to remove the things that are not serving you. It has a detox element to it, this full moon. And that brings us to your moon, which is 19th to 20th of May. So you'll feel a reset. Around 17th and 18th can feel a little bit high on emotions. So give it a day or two and then do something practical or something more which requires you to use your left brain, because the practical things may not feel feasible around 17th or 18th of May. You might feel high on emotions on those days, and you might be dealing with something that is coming out. We discover a lot of things about ourselves. The secret which lies below the surface about ourselves are normally revealed at that time. Then on 21st of May, Sun and Mercury both are moving in your partnership sector. It becomes the time to interact with clients. It becomes the time to spend more time with your business partner and your personal partner. Relationships come into focus. But before that, we are dealing with the things which we initiated earlier. So you start working on generating value out of the projects that you started now. On 22nd of May, we are acting on certain of those innovative projects that we started, and that is showing you some value. 22nd of May is also a very high frisky day, if I can call it. It's the day when we might be happily involved with a partner and going further deep in with that person, spending some time away with that person. What's happening around end of this month is also that your creativity and your individuality is getting healed, because you start seeing certain outcomes and proceeds of the partnerships that you've worked on. So all the partnerships that you were previously working on, whether it's a client partnership or it's a partnership with a business person, you start seeing certain proceeds of that partnership, and that helps heal you, especially if you're a November born. But when healing is happening, old wounds come to open as well. So 23rd of May is a day I want you to be a little bit careful of. It's a good time to talk about if in the past we have a wound in the past. All of us have a wound in the past. If the wound involved passion, love, it involved hurt in a personal relationship, or it involved a business loss, or not being given enough benefit to our creativity, to our individuality. Now that we are taking a bet on ourselves, this becomes a time when you heal from it, but those wounds also come out in the open. So being a little bit aware of it, that you might be acting on the basis of those wounds, but at the same time, those are propelling us forward. Those are moving us forward. We are healing from it. We are moving forward with it. Speaking about it to your partner, speaking about if in the past you felt not appreciated for something, talking about that to your committed partner at this point in time would work well. And 23rd of May and 26th of May both are excellent days to have a conversation with your partner. 26th to 28th of May becomes the time when family and home comes into focus, especially if you have 18 degree of Sagittarius, 18 degree of Sagittarius, which is around 10th of December born. This could be a time when we have to do some work at home. I want you to be a little bit careful from a health perspective or allergies perspective between 26th to 28th of May, especially if you have planets around 18 degree of Sagittarius or if you're born around 10th of December. Then 29th of May and 30th of May, we might receive certain it's a little bit over the top kind of an energy. But some amount of positive news could come on our partnership, or a little bit of breakthrough movement with a business partner, with a contract, with a client. So one-on-one relationship, there is a positive breakthrough that happens between 29th and 30th of May. Especially if you have planets around 18 degree to 21 degree of Sagittarius. So if you are a Sagittarius sun born between 10th of December to 13th of December. But what's happening right now is, as I said, this is a positive energy, but it is over the top. There's a little bit of distorted thinking here. We may not see the facts very clearly. Facts might be covered by a little bit of emotional selling. Sentimental thoughts take precedence over logic right now. So I would not recommend to sign any financial document or sign any commercial document on 29th or 30th of May. Those are better done after 31st of May. 31st of May, 2nd of June, they're better to tie the knot. They're actually really good days to tie the knot in terms of partnership documents, in terms of love, in terms of a financial client contract coming through. Those dates are better to get that done, 31st of May and 2nd of June. So we end the month on a very high note because we feel completely inspired for the future. There's a lot of progress both on your day-to-day work as well as in your personal life that I see here, and that is all coming because you're removing the shackles that were holding your sense of self. You're bringing a completely revamped sense of self, a completely revamped talent set out, which will create more value for you both in your work life as well as in your personal life, and it's exciting as hell. This is United States has the ascendant of Sagittarius as well, and we are seeing all of these trends right now. And there are conversations with partners of United States to get their right worth from a deficit perspective. Then Donald Trump's moon is at 21 degree of Sagittarius, asking for his true worth, what he deserves, taking a risk, and that resulting in certain over-the-top action which we saw recently. At the same date as I mentioned earlier in the reading, around 8th and 9th of May. And now over the weekend, this coming weekend, a grand fire trine charges us up. It gives us creative energy to create the solution that work for us, work for our partners. And that evolves into a situation of breakthrough that belongs to a long-term abundance, a long-term contract manifesting, a long-term financial abundance and sense of order coming through. So this is a beautiful energy. Next month we have your full moon. There'll be a lot of focus on you and your opposite sign. When we have cadence houses activated as we have right now, where our mindset is changing, we're changing the documentation, we're getting ready for things. When our critical axes are activated, which will happen in the month of June, that's where things shift. We change careers, we complete projects, we complete a client contract, we get married. Those kind of life-changing items which stay with us for a longer period of time, that happen when the critical axes are activated, and that will be happening in the month of June. So more of that in the coming month. Good luck for the rest of the month, and I'll see you in June. Thank you.